after the sessions are over. So a little overview of what we're going to talk about today. I'd like you to meet our theater staff. Even if it's just, by name, if you don't get to see them in person. We'll talk a little bit about the role of the director, important deadlines coming up, some basics of play selection and basic contest procedures, some changes and updates. That's what everyone wants to hear, the changes and updates. And I'll go more into that specifically tomorrow at our advanced session. So feel free to come back. And just a bit about junior high, middle school, or also known as the A+ One Act Play Contest, and some resources for you. So for those who don't know me, I'm Paula Rodriguez. I'm the State Theater Director. So I oversee the One Act Play Contest, the Young Filmmakers Contest, and Theatrical Design. We do have two other contest directors for those two contests, for film and theatrical design. But I sort of, oversee the three areas. So it's been a very crazy, exciting year. I don't have to tell you all, but we are thrilled that we were able to complete the contest last year with some changes, with some modifications. A couple things we're looking at keeping. Other things we're going to say, maybe we shouldn't, go back to these kinds of schedules, but time will tell. So we're staying positive that we're hoping to have as normal a season as possible this year. On this call as well is Elizabeth Sykes. She is our Senior Administrative Associate. Elizabeth's been letting people in. I don't know if you're able to see Elizabeth. Can you all see me and hear me okay? Are we good? Yes? Okay. So, and also we have Connie McMillan. She would be on the call as well, who is our administrative assistant also, and our drama loan librarian. These two incredible women are very, very helpful. They're a soothing voice on the other end of the phone, and they'll help you, direct you to where you need to go, and to assist you with that pesky spring meet entry system, as well as the mock forms, all those different forms that you have to kind of like navigate through our website. And I don't think anyone knows more about.
7-11. That's right. Okay. Get your answer.
All right, go ahead. And I don't think anyone knows more about American theater than Connie McMillan. So if you have questions about plays or a question about our drama loan library, give us a call or email, and Connie can surely assist you with that. All right. So the first thing is the role of the One Act Play director. And yes, obviously it's the person who directs the One Act Play, but we do get questions throughout the year about who can direct the One Act Play, whether it's from, administrators or from teachers who want to know, am I really going to undertake all this, this event all by myself? So here are some, just some rules, but also some suggestions. All right. So yes, the One Act Play director. All right. And you are limited to 4. Okay. Which has definitely been increased through the years, through the decades. So you can have a maximum of 4. Yes, the director does enroll your school in the contest. It's your responsibility to meet all the contest deadlines. Yes, you have to attend the contest. And believe it or not, we'll have some questions about, would it be great to just send the kids off to contests and all that, but no, you do need to be there, right? But it's important that, yes, you must be a full-time employee of the school district. And we have all kinds of One Act Play directors. We have administrators, superintendents who have been, One Act Play directors, high school counselors. So, if you're a full-time employee of the school district, you can be listed as one of the 4 One Act Play directors. There are some exceptions, including being a teacher or administrator with 20 more years experience. That person can be hired by the district to direct the One Act Play. Again, must be hired, by the district, not volunteer, but it must be hired by the district to direct the One Act Play. Again, there's a maximum of 4 directors that can be listed, and we'll get into the difference between the spring meet entry online system and like those pesky mock forms. All right. A question I get, and we're going to do see frequently asked questions throughout the session today. May I have a parent or a former student assist me? Maybe because they have a theater background. There's someone in town who majored in theater but they're not a teacher, they're not employed. Can they assist me? And the answer is no. All right. They must be a full-time employee of the school district, or they would be hired if they are a retired school teacher or administrator with 20 or more years of experience. Now, the question we can get into aid in directing a little bit later on is, and I understand, it could seem completely overwhelming. You're the solo teacher, you're right. And so you're responsible for, all the props, the costumes, the music, and now you want to add projections and all these different things. Can you have parents help you sew costumes or paint props or help you build things? Surely. Okay. Absolutely. All right. Where it crosses the line is, are these people directing your show? Are they assisting in casting? Are they assisting you in the staging? Okay, are they assisting you in the design of the show? So if there are any questions about that, if you have a real specific question, it's always best just to go ahead and email me or call me. Okay.
In progress.
Yes. All right. So I'll just kind of put a hold right here. Any questions about director? Anybody? Okay. Elizabeth, keep me in check to see, because I can't see the chat box because I'm sharing my screen. Hopefully you guys can see the screen and all that. All right.
I think one question has come in, can a part-time teacher assist as a director?
No, they must be a full-time employee of the school district. But if you're
Okay, folks, I'm not sure what's happened. Paula, if you're on, we've lost your sound. I'm sorry, I think I might have muted you in my bid to mute other folks.
okay.
There we go.
Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Elizabeth, am I on?
I can hear you. I'm sorry. I think you started to answer the question about what was the question? Now I've forgotten the question. Can a part-time teacher assist as a director?
And so the answer is no. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay. All righty. Because I'm not seeing the chat or anything. And so it's been a while, folks. I apologize for this. Okay, so you can see me and hear me okay, Elizabeth?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so the answer is no. If they're part-time, no. But if you are a high school teacher, can an elementary school teacher, junior high teacher assist you with the one-act play? Absolutely, if they are a full-time employee of the school district, okay? Any other questions about the role of the director? Awesome. This first session is going to be a bumpy one, I can tell. So, and I blame myself on technology. It's been a while for the Zooms. All right. Okay. So,
Paula, there is a question. Because I think all we can see is you. So I don't know if you're sharing a screen because you're not. We're not seeing your screen.
Okay, Elizabeth, are you able to share my screen? Are you able to do that?
If I share screen, I'll be sharing my screen.
Okay.
Which will just be you.
I'm not sure why there's an issue with.
Right now it says share screen. One participant can share at a time. I could change it to multiple participants in case it's somehow preventing you.
Okay. Yes.
So
I'm not.
I'm going to do that. So you should, I think, be able to share your screen now from the bottom.
But see, that's the thing. I'm not getting that screen that says.
Are you in full screen perhaps? Maybe you need to hit escape and so that you can see the kind of options at the bottom of your Zoom.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing any of that, folks.
You're in full screen. Let's see, someone is saying there was also an update to Zoom recently, so I don't know if that's causing an issue.
I don't know why. I was able to see people, and then now all of a sudden I don't see anybody or anything.
Have you hit escape so that we can just verify you're not in full screen? Okay. Then up in your top right corner, can you click like participant view or gallery?
I'm gonna hit share screen. Let me see.
Let's see. No.
I'm hitting share screen and it's not. doing that. Let's see. Okay, now I can
There
see
we go.
people.
Yes,
Okay.
that is working.
All right, folks, I'm sorry. Okay. All righty, so let's see. I'm wondering now I can move forward. Okay, yeah, so this stuff is all obviously in the handbook as far as like the director and all that. So you can now see me, now everyone can hear me. We're good. All right. So some few deadlines, date changes have happened this year. So this year, the August 31st is the deadline to report your by district contest information. All right. It used to be August 1st. All right. We extended the deadline, or we changed the deadline to August 31st, because my hope here is that when folks start having their planning meetings in August, they'll kind of, kill two birds with one stone. All right. So we'll get into the by district and how that's organized in just a second. August 12th is the first day that a lot of folks have planning meetings, back in the spring. Some have had them already in the summer. Some may not have them till September. We get it. That's fine. August 12th, though, is the first day where you could actually contact your first adjudicator, or if you have a single judge, the adjudicator. All right. Not before then. All right. And it's also the first day that you can actually draw for performance order. So you can have a planning meeting, before the end of the spring, midsummer, that's fine. You can decide on contest manager. You can decide on the contest site. There's two things you cannot do. You cannot draw for performance order before August 12th, and you can't contact your judge or have your contest manager contact the judge. And the reason for that is because things change over the summer. People move to different schools. You want to make sure that all the teachers, all the One Act Play directors in your district have an opportunity to attend this meeting. All right. So again, the 31st is the deadline to report the by district contest information. We'll get to that in a little bit. The most important deadline, though, however, is October 1st. So, the sooner you do it, the better. All right. So on August 1st, we will open up the enrollment for What I Play for this year. October 1st is that deadline. All right. After October 1st, you will be getting those emails from me saying, I'm going to give you a week, to do your enrollment, or you're going to have to get approval from your district executive committee. So nobody wants to do that. And have them go through all the votes and all that, because I've seen, I've experienced it before where the district executive committee does not allow a school to do late entry. So please get that done by October 1st, please. All right. November 4th, deadline to hold directors planning meetings. November 7th is your deadline is your first day that you can contact your second or third judging panel members, if you're having a panel. All right. December 10th, the deadline has been moved up. All right. The deadline to request scenic elements not permissible. All right. In other words, if you're just insistent on having a large puppet, for example, or you want to have a moving car or something that's not found in the UIL handbook, or if you want to submit a play that is not on the approved list of long or short plays, December 10th is the deadline. All right. So it was December 15th. Now it's, December 10th. Okay. And hopefully you'll get your plays back sooner. All right. Okay. All right. So for those of you who are brand new, all right, or still feeling kind of novice, where are the answers to absolutely everything? All right. Areas. Obviously, our UIL Theater website, which has been updated, and of course we are updating. So if you're looking at, by district or the areas or regions, and you still see a few sites that are not listed, or something says TBA or whatever, it's because we're still waiting on confirmation from some of these sites or from some of these judges. So don't sweat, but always, always keep checking back. Spend some time with that website, all the forms, everything you need, all the information, instructions on how to enroll, links to videos, all that on the website. The One Act Play handbook can seem a bit overwhelming when you download it and look at it. If you're looking at it, a PDF version, what is it? The Command F, whatever, will help you. You just type in a word you're looking for, doors, okay, and you'll get all the information that you need about doors in the handbook. All right. The 27th edition is coming out, I would say probably within the next 3 weeks. So we are looking at the handbook a bit differently. So not, a whole lot of rules rule changes. We've had other things to contend with, but the organization of it. We realize that, why have information that's here for the directors and then something more for the contest managers, a little bit more for the judges and all that. We're trying to streamline it so that it's a lot easier for you to find your answers. So we're going to try that. Okay. Just see if, all right. Can everybody hear me? Everyone good? We're good? Everyone can hear me? Okay, cool. Just kind of checking on the chat. Okay. All righty. So where to find us? I find all the information on the homepage. Folks, if you just go to the UIL website, if you go to academics, if you just kind of scroll down, you'll see theater, you'll see, all the different areas. If you teach, if you direct one act play for junior high, A+, or you're interested in theatrical design contest or film, again, all of those, you can start by going to the UIL academics page. All right. Okay, so, and like I said, on that homepage, you can find everything from the UIL theater calendar to plays that we've added to the approved list. All right. So if you just want to know what's been approved for this year. So take a look at that list, what additions that we have to the short and long list of plays. The enrollment, so it'll open on August 1st. It'll close after October 1st. So just click on that and you can do the enrollment. Again, if you run into any troubles, just send us an email and we'll talk you through it. All right, we'll get you through the whole thing. Results from last year, alignments, and we're going to get to that in just a second. Okay, as well as any new news and updates. Okay, let's see. All right, folks, thank you for letting me know that I can be seen and heard. Thank you. Okay. Now, if I can just advance this. All right. So one act play enrollment. So again, like I said, this session is for beginning teachers. There is, always a question about the academic alignment versus the one act play alignment. So if you're like right now, I don't know what district I'm in, where to go and all that, the easiest thing is to go to your administrator. Okay. They can pretty much tell you, or your athletic director and all that. They can tell you what your region is and what district number you're in and so forth. So you can also go to the academic site, to the academic page, and look at the academic alignment. All right. And they'll show you, what region and district. However, like, for example, what you see here in front of you, all right, not all the schools necessarily participate in one act play, right? So it is important that after October 1st, Elizabeth will update, okay, that page, all right, with the one act play alignment, all the schools that will be participating in your district. All right. So like, for example, if you were to look at it this year, and we still have last year's one act play alignment listed. All right. But, we had Dallas ISD that did not participate last year. We had the majority of El Paso ISD and many school districts that did not participate last year due to COVID-19. So it is not updated. So I would start first with the academic alignment. And then after you enroll, we will be updating the one act play alignment. All right. Okay. So I mentioned earlier about by district. So not only do you need to worry about like your district is most important right now. Worry about your zone district, all right? But you also have to start thinking about your by district information, all right? So for a lot of folks, a lot of us don't know, well, who is in charge of our by district, all right? So what'll happen is what should happen is your district executive committee chairperson, all right, you will name someone in your district, a school, a teacher, a contest manager, someone to be the representative of that district, okay? The district that you're connected with will just say District 1 and District 2. Those two representatives, all right, one act play directors, they could be contest managers, whoever has been named the by district representatives will meet and organize the contest, all right? It's important that they communicate, all right, with the other directors, with the other schools, okay, to find the best, site, usually a neutral site, to hold the contest, to get a list of judges that they prefer, maybe contest manager that they prefer, to create the budget. Because remember that these two districts are handling those affairs. So please make sure if you are one of the by district reps that you do communicate with your district. You also communicate with your district executive committee chair. The process, the procedures for holding the by district contest can be found under that by district page on the theater website. You will see the by district contact list, who you're paired with. District is paired like District 1 and 2, District 3 and 4 paired together, and so on and so forth. All right. If you are one of those representatives, please fill out that contact list rep form that you can find that link also on the page, so that we have that information, so that we can post that, so that other directors know, where we're at, where we're going. Okay. And again, the contest information form is due by August 31st. All right. Again, there's some just step-by-step procedures outlined on that page as well. Are there any questions about by district? Okay. That's one that always seems to be kind of like well, who's doing it? Are you doing it? Am I doing it? So yeah, I mean, it's a good question to ask. So, ask around in your planning meeting, who's running this thing for by district, okay? And, because those judges are being, selected right now. So people are already seeking their by district judges, okay? Elizabeth, any questions you see? Okay. All righty. So, all right. So planning meetings. All right. So the planning meeting obviously is the district planning meeting is when all the One Act Play directors of your district should get together, okay, to plan the contest. All right. Select the best site, select the best date. All right. Again, August 12th is the first day you can actually go out and contact your selected judge. All right. Your first judge, if it's a panel, or if it's a single judge, the only judge, right? Or you can have your contest manager do that. Select your contest manager, like I said, your site, your date. Please, we ask that you be very mindful, all right, of all the other events that are happening during district, okay? Academics, athletics. So please, check the UIL calendar to make sure that, you're not lumping, so you're not having a student have to choose between One Act Play and, let's say, CX, debate, okay, on the same day. So work with if you have a UIL academic coordinator, work with them, communicate with them, as well as the other sponsors at your school who do academic events. All right. March 24th is the certification deadline for district and by district. In other words, those contests must be completed and certified on the UIL Spring Meet Entry System. All right. I ask that when you're looking for judges to please review the adjudicator assignments. You can find that list on the theater website as well. So please, you may just adore this one, you really want this, judge for district, but they could be judging your conference level at state. So just please, take a look before you start, making those phone calls. And if you need a certified TTAL contest manager, please go to the TTAL website. What's TTAL? That's the Texas Theater Adjudicators and Officials organization. Their website, TTAL.org. You can go to that. So what's the difference is that the TTAL contest manager is one that has gone through training. They are up to date on all the rules. So we really encourage that you select one that has all the information, that has all knows all the current rules. And I think that's really, really important. Or definitely encourage maybe your district executive committee, your administrator, to hire someone from the TTAL organization who has that training. All right. Okay. I know the Spring Meet Entry System can be complicated, but it is this UIL system, right? So it is your official online entry system. It's where you go to do your enrollment. It is where you'll go to put in your play title. The deadline for that is February 10th, another important spring deadline. It is where you'll also enter your official Spring Meet, your official entry, contested entry, where you'll list not only your play, but the directors, your cast members, your set, all that information will go in there as well. All right. So we have the online entry system, but you also have this thing called the mock form or the contested entry form. It is a separate form. Yes, to enroll in district and for your other levels, there are two forms. For district, you've got your online entry system, but for district and for by district, area, region, state, you also have the contested entry form that you can find on resources and forms on the website. All right. That second part of your entry goes to your contest manager. They receive that. They usually use that to create the program, to create the playbill for the contest. It's also a place where you can enter your fourth director. It's just the system, all right? The online system only allows you to enter 3 directors. That fourth director could go on the contested entry mock form. It's nothing personal. It's just the way it is for right now. All right. So there are step-by-step instructions on the website. So please, if it takes me every year. I go back and I just take it step by step. It'll show you how to go back and check your work. So don't let it overwhelm you. Just take it step by step. Okay. All righty. Oh, I have a typo. Thank you. Okay. So let's move on to selecting plays. What is the secret for finding the perfect winning one-act play? Does anybody have any suggestions to that? No? Okay, right, because there aren't any, right? No winning formula. I would like to say, however, that all the state champions of list last year, I believe all the plays were plays found on the approved list. So those plays you didn't need to submit it at a time. So anyway, so where to find plays? I encourage you, please, to avoid requesting scripts or cuttings on social media. And I put, they don't know your kids. I totally, hey, if a friend of mine asks, hey, I've got, these, 3 guys and 3 girls, and they're really good at this kind of stuff. Sure, I can rattle off some titles, but I don't know their kids. I don't know their skills. I don't know what they feel comfortable, working on. So I just say avoid it. If you want to go on social media and ask, by all means, but be very careful about asking for things like cuttings. All right. So you can't ask for cuttings online and all that. And remember that directors select their plays for their students. So it's kind of hard there's no like one size fit all kind of cutting for your kids. So, but there's nothing wrong with you asking for assistance with editing your play or even selecting your play. So that's not considered aid in directing. They're not being the director. If you're saying, hey, take a look at this monologue, what else can I cut out of this so we can be under 40 minutes, or take a look at the scene. That's not the same thing as directing your play. All right. If you have any questions about that, just send me an email. Attend workshops on this. Later today, we have a couple of workshops. I'll get to that. That strictly just deal with play selection and with editing a script. So, and of course, do the work. There's no better way for you to learn how to be great at editing scripts than just by doing it. Okay. Again, your kids, what they're capable of doing. All right. Okay, another great resource, if you go to our resources and forms page on our theater website, take a look at the participation list, all right? From 2014 to, I believe, to 2021, it may still be like from 2019. I'm not sure if it's updated yet, but take a look at the participation list. All the schools that participated, their play titles, the directors, the schools where they came from. So, hey, that's, quicker way for you to ask a question to that director, someone who has directed, we'll just say, the Diviners, all right? How did you deal with this scene? How did you handle this? And, some suggestions, some help. So take a look at the participation list and take a look at the approved list of long and short plays. Again, it's always being, you're always looking at it every year. We're adding plays to it. We're removing some old plays from it. So take a look at that. Guess what? They're already approved. You don't need to you don't need to submit it to UIL. That's one thing off your list, right? And especially if you're brand new and I'm not even sure where to begin, and I don't feel comfortable in editing scripts and all that. Where do I go? Take a look at our long and short plays. All right. You can borrow scripts from our drama loan library. We have a huge library at the UIL building. And we'll get to that in a little bit later, but, feel free to, fill out the form, and it's a very, very inexpensive way for you to, read and peruse all these different scripts. I listed a few play publishers. There are many more. All right. And I know a lot of folks get their plays from Amazon and all that, but if you want to go straight to the publisher, I've listed a few here. Okay. And there are more. There is no longer an approved list of publishers, all right? Some frequently asked questions, may I submit plays from foreign countries? Very popular right now, plays that were done by the National Theatre in England, so English plays, Australian plays, German plays, written in English, translated into English. May I submit those plays? Yes, you may. May I submit an original play from, maybe there's a teacher, a Texas teacher who's written a really great play. Are you've written, a wonderful play, or even a student. We've had student plays be approved. So the answer is yes. All right. We ask though that, please make sure that if you're going to submit an original script, that you look at, the quality of the play, the quality of the literature, punctuation, grammar, all of that goes into it. So please, your students deserve to work with the best material. So please make sure that you take a look at all that. Please make sure that you seek publisher permission and take care of your royalties before starting production. I could definitely spend 10 minutes telling you some horror stories, events that, I say horror stories because we'll say we have, a contest, a school that's going to contest in, 48 hours, and the director forgot to request royalties, or they hadn't heard back from the publishing company. And there are lots of stories about that. So start now. All right. If you're thinking about a play, start now, start working on getting publisher permission, see if you could even get that play. Sometimes plays get removed from the publisher, or they don't allow those plays to be used for competition. So please, start doing your research now. Don't wait till the week or 2 weeks before contest to follow up and to do that process. All right. And please read your publisher's, your license, what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do, when I directed this play for One Act Play competition. Okay. All right. My Capital Conference plug today at 2:00, we have a session with Sean Duthie from Holiday High School about developing the right scenes from. So it's everything from play selection to editing your play, to fall within the time limits, in meeting your community standards and so forth for competition. That's at 2:00 today. It'll be the same Zoom link as the one you were on right now. All right. Hopefully fix this glitch today, Paula. All right. At 3:00, we have the Concord Theatricals team. Concord Theatricals, formerly known as Samuel French, will have 3 members of the team who will share their insights about licensing, all things licensing and UIL One Act Play productions. So they're here to answer your questions, and they're here to do a presentation about One Act Play and editing and scenes from and cuttings and all those questions that I know everybody has. All right, that's happening today as well. Okay, Drama Loan Library. You have, you can select, you can check out more like 10 plays for 3 weeks. Only costs you $7 for shipping and handling. So the theater website has under resources and forums, there's a section called Drama Loan Library that has all that information. Okay, that you'll find on our website. Okay, so quickly I'll answer some questions about the approved list and scripts and all that. If you're choosing a play from the approved list of long or short plays, you do not need to submit it to UIL. Okay, that job is done. However, you still need to submit that script to your contest manager before contest. They'll want it for the integrity script, and also to your judge or judges. All right, your contest manager will give you all that information. All right, you still need to edit. Okay, for content and length. So there may be a play that's been, approved, multiple times. It's now on the approved list, but it still has, obscenities, profanity in it. You still need to do the work. You'll need to cut it, to meet the standards of UIL and your community standards. All right. So, and to edit for time. So just because, a play's on the approved list of long or short plays, even on short plays, that play could be 45, 50 minutes long, an hour long, and still be considered a short play. So please, do the work, do the, time the play, all that, make sure that you meet the rules of the contest. Okay. If you have selected a play and it doesn't require any edits, all right, it is perfectly, at times at 38 and a half, then, if you need to submit it to us for approval, then just put a post-it or just include a note or a letter or whatever saying you're doing the play in its entirety and you don't, no cut. So that way, because the question always is like, do I have to highlight the entire play if it's only, let's say, 30 pages long? All right. So no, the answer is no, but you do need to include a note for us. Okay. Okay. Let's see, photocopies, unless you have written permission from the publisher or from the playwright, is a no-no. So photocopies are prohibited unless, of course, you have permission. And please remember, if you're going to edit something, remove it in ink and highlight it in yellow, please. Do not edit in pencil. It'll get returned. Okay. I know we have a question here. Let's see. The 11 o'clock session today, a rehearsal technique, is still on. Yes, all the sessions are still on. I just apologize for this glitch and all that. So just, if you're coming back for that 11 o'clock session, if you having the same issue we had this morning, we'll get it rectified and all that. Just send me an email. We're going to get you into that session. Don't worry. All right. The dates for submitting, you could start August 1st. Deadline is December 10th for high schools, and for junior high A+, it's August 1st through April 15th. Note that junior high, you have 45 days before competition to submit that script for approval. Okay, if it's not on the approved list. Okay, let's see. Just really quickly about the reading committee. So if you're submitting a play to the reading committee, basically how it all works. Okay, you submit the play, it gets assigned to a reading committee member. All right. If that committee member says play is great, it's a good cutting, it's a good script, approved. All right. It gets sent back. You get an email saying the play was approved. No issues. If the committee member says, I don't think this play should be approved for these reasons and all that, it'll go to a second committee member. All right. If that second committee member says, no, I don't think this play should be approved, giving the reasons, you'll get a report back, but those two no's will basically, it'll cancel it out. It'll say no, it'll be a no, a rejection. All right. If it's a yes and a no, it'll go to a third reader. And usually that third reader is going to be me. All right. And if I have some, questions, I'll just pick up the phone and call you, the director, about how are you handling the scene? Did you mean to include, this language? But again, please do the work before submitting your play for approval. All right. And please do not call the state office to check on the status, because especially in November, December, we are getting many, many, many scripts, and it just delays the process. So, all right. Well, as soon as we have your answer, we will email you. Okay. Okay. Questions about the What I Play company. And if we go a little bit longer, folks, I hope you can stay with us, because there's not a session immediately following this one. I kind of made sure that we had some time for Q&A. So we'll get through all the information today. All right. So as far as questions about the What I Play company, the official What I Play company may include a maximum of 24 students and may include the following. This is where we always have some questions here. A maximum of 20 performers and crew members. That's your team. Okay, that's your competing team. And you can have 4 alternates max. Okay, so those alternates are not included as far as like the performers. Okay, so we'll get those questions sometimes. An example of that, you may have 15 performers and a crew of 5. You may have 5 performers and a crew of 15. You may have 19 performers and 1 crew member. All right. Is there a minimum number of performers allowed in one act play? We get that question. So a minimum of 3. So a 2-person play will not be approved. Okay, it's not allowed in one act play. You must have at least 3 people to be considered like participants, performers in the contest play. Okay. Let me see. It's our profane. Let's see. I'll get to those questions in just a second. May I list students as both crew and performers? So you have to either list them as crew or performer. You cannot list them as both. So that'll be on the online entry. You can't list them as both, but may the crew member participate in a scene transition in costume, for example? No lines, but can they come in and change the set, but wear a costume? So no, they would actually be acting on stage if you have them in costume. Can you have them, do a set change in blackout or in blue out, wearing their tech clothes, dressed in blacks or whatever? That's fine. They just can't be an actor. Once you put a costume on them and they're part of this beautifully choreographed transition, they become a performer. May a performer also serve as by stage manager, or can they run the projector backstage, or can they run sound backstage, or use move a sidelight or something? Absolutely, but they're still listed on the playbill on the entry as a performer. All right. Does the crew member need to be backstage after setup? All right. So you've got this beautiful, elaborate setup and all that. Now what to do with that crew member? That crew member needs to have an assignment. So they can't just help you, build the set, okay, and then, watch the show from the audience. No, you'll need to give them an assignment either in the booth, okay, lighting, sound area, or backstage. All right. So they can't just, watch from the audience at the end. All right. Question we get: how soon can we start on the One Act Play? You could start. You could start today. The calendar does not specify when you could start. As far as when can you start the contest, so after February 10th, which is our title entry deadline, you can really, February 12th, February 13th, you can start holding district, zone, or district contests. All right. We're seeing more and more districts holding their contests at the end of February. All right. Because of all the conflicts, whether it's spring break or, other events, especially if you're a smaller school where your kids are competing, are involved in everything. So, wouldn't start as early as January. You want to wait till after February 10th. So we want to make sure also that the reason we have that title entry deadline, so we can check your play title, make sure that it's either on the approved list or it did, receive approval from the UIL office. So, but you can begin right after February 10th. All right. Just make sure that your zone, district by district contests are certified by March 24th. Okay. Let's see. We'll say those questions that are in the chat box. We'll save them for the end so I can get through this material. All right. So if folks want to know about pandemic changes and studies that are coming on, that are coming forth. So again, the goal is to hold all contests. All right. Hold all of them. Hold area. Advancing 3 from every level, 2 from region. No COVID-19 modified schedules. I know there's some directors out there who are very, very fond of the Schedule C, or very, very fond of going from the rehearsal straight into performance. But we're going to keep our schedules as traditional pre-COVID-19. You can have your official rehearsal the day before and have your contest, the actual contest day, the following day, as many places have. That's fine. Some want to have their contest and rehearsal all in one day, but we're not going to do like the Schedule C, for example. All right. This is a change that's coming up. It'll be official in October, but the use of contact strikes, slaps, punches to the face, head, above the neck, okay, in the UIL competition is prohibited. All right. So no face slaps, no, punches, to the face, even though you think, hey, these kids can take it, or they stage it themselves, or they're hitting each other and they're not feeling any pain. It's dangerous and it's prohibited. All right. So I really encourage you to have workshops, attend stage combat workshops, hold your own stage combat workshops, invite other schools, and learn the proper procedure for handling stage violence. All right. This year, UIL will study a proposal to remove the requirement that critiques follow the awards announcement in the One Act Play competition. All right. For zone, district, and by district, your contest manager working with the district shall submit a UIL form, which is coming soon, requesting critiques occur before announcing results. One of the changes that we made last year, one of the modifications, was so that schools could return back to their campus, was to hold critiques immediately following performances. It was very popular for a lot of folks, right? So for this year, we're going to study this, all right? And for the zone, district, and by district, levels, you could, just request a form. We're going to approve it. Okay. There's no approval, disapproval for this one. I'm letting us know that way we can follow up and study this. You can have your critique immediately following your performance, or you could have it after all the performances have been completed, but before the announcements of results. Okay. So you have that choice. For area and region, we're going to have critiques happen before the announcement of the results, before the award ceremony. And for state, we're going to keep it the way we've had it at state meet before. So with critiques happening the following day, okay, unless you're a Saturday performance and our Saturday contest, and then we'll do them at the end of the evening. All right. So that's happening this year. So you have a choice. If you want to keep it the way it was pre-COVID and have your critiques after the award ceremony, absolutely up to you. But if you want to have them before the results, you will need to go ahead and just fill out a very, very quick, easy form, letting us know so that way we can follow up and study how it worked, okay? Because it could be a possible upcoming future rule change. All right. The UIL study on clinics and festivals. Basically, and I'll have this PowerPoint posted that you guys can go back and refer to it. So we're going to keep it the same as we did last year. It's still being studied. So you can attend a festival the way you normally have, where you travel to a site. That's fine. Or if you want to bring the clinician or the workshop presenter to your campus, you can do that as well. So we are keeping that modification from last year, and we're going to study it. And any school that brings in someone to do a clinic for them, then you'll just have to fill out a form. So we just want to keep track of it so that we can study and find out what work was successful. The number, we would like to know like how many schools chose to bring in a clinician versus, holding a clinic traditionally. All right, and that makes sense. Okay. Okay, so that's basically what I'm talking about. So yeah, so there will be a form coming soon as well on resources and forms. I will send out an email about this. We'll post it on the website. So we'll make sure that you get the information for this. Again, it's this form just if you're going to do this, this modification, which is bringing a clinician to your house. Okay. The question is always, what rules will get me in trouble? All right. There aren't that many, folks. Okay. All right. The use of an eligible student. Okay. You're basically playing somebody who, didn't pass their course, past the 6 weeks. If you did have 24 actors on stage, exceeding the number allowed in the performing company. If you go over time in performance, set, or strike, remember the show can't be over 40 minutes, but it can't be under 18 either. So we're looking at, 18 to, 39.59, right? 40 minutes. The use of firearms, explosive, combustible materials are prohibited. The use of an additional unit set, someone snuck in an extra 4x4 platform. No. The director communicating with the company during the performance is also a violation. Anything else is really an ethics violation. So it shouldn't be, the rule shouldn't intimidate you. I know it does. I know we all want to do right by our kids. So if you ever have any questions about that, please just contact us. Okay. My job is to help, calm you down and it's all going to be okay. And we'll get you ready and, keep this process fun for everybody. If you need an accommodation for your student, please just go to our website. There is a request for accommodations form. On the request form, please, it's important. One thing we are looking for is that you outline the modification that is being followed at school, okay, and how you're requesting this to be used during the One Act Play contest, okay? So if you have any questions about that, just send me an email. So we'll get a few of those every year, okay? Okay. TILF scholarships. If you are so fortunate to advance to the state meet, if your students are participating at the state meet level, they can apply for a TILF scholarship. That's a Texas Interscholastic League Foundation scholarship. Lots of money there. Please go to the website. Please make sure that those deadlines, because all of a sudden seem to appear, in May. And it's make sure that if they haven't been to the state meet, have them start applying it, as soon as it's open. All right. So that they can, there's lots of money out there. So please apply. That's one of the perks of being involved in UIL and UIL academics. So please have them do that. Very quickly, for those of you who do junior high A+ One Act Play, the handbook is coming as well. What we're going to do is just, if it all works out, we're just going to add it to, so it's just one handbook, and there'll be a section, basically an addendum for junior high One Act Play. Really, the rules are the same. Okay, the rules are the same. There are some changes, like no official enrollment is necessary. Everyone always asks, when do I enroll in One Act Play for junior high? There is no enrollment necessary. You don't follow a district alignment. So say you're in a community where maybe there aren't other junior highs that participate in One Act Play. You can combine with other schools and other districts, and that's all the information for that can also be found on the handbook. All right. Or, just send me a message and we'll, talk you through all that stuff. But you could have your own district with different schools from different districts, and everyone takes home their own points if it's an official UIL contest. But again, as far as all the other rules that go with, as far as time and everything, we all follow the high school rules. All right. Okay. Let's see. And if you see these people or you run into them during the year, congratulate them. This is our slate of judges for the state meet. We believe we have 6 or 7 who are brand new, who are judging state for the very first time. We got Mandy Epley, Philip Taylor, Joy Morton, Jackie Mullen, Bronwyn Sullenberger, Ross DeLeon, Rod Caspers, Lathan Jacobs, Greg Arp, Missy Head, Aquila Aubrey, Craig Hurdle, Jim Rambo, Jill Luddington, Charles Falcone, Rachel Maddox, Ezekiel Morgan, and Perry Crafton. So we are so excited. Please, folks, as through the competition, through contest season, if you're advancing or if it's just at the zone or district level and all that, please send in your evaluation, your contest evaluation. Believe me, we do read these. And they're a huge part of how these people get selected to be area, region, and state judges. All right, so please make sure you send in your evaluation. If you're a new director, how to get ready, make sure that you enroll. And when I play, set an alarm for August 1st or, next Monday, first thing in the morning, just go ahead and enroll in When I Play, then check that off your list. You're done. All right. Seek a mentor. Okay. Whether they're here today or whether you see them at a future conference, whether it's student activity conference or theater fest or thespian, seek a mentor in your district. Please don't be shy. Just ask them for help. We were all there at one point. All right. I don't know where I would be without Carl Moore from Colorado City when I was teaching at Sonora High School. So Carl Moore kind of walked me through everything. Attend workshops. A few listed there. See plays live or online. All right. Watch as much theater as you can. Read as many plays as you can. The more plays you read, you'll find the right play for your students. Again, they know your kids better than anyone else. All right. And don't fear the handbook, and don't be afraid to ask me a question. All right. Other information, other links there that hopefully you can access later on. If you missed, or someone who missed this session, or I know we got off to a wonky start, it'll be posted. So please go back to your registration to access handouts, videos. Go to our UIL channel, and if you just probably do a search for theater or theatrical design or film, you'll see a bunch of videos from this past year will pop up. So take a look at some of those sessions, and I think there's some more wonderful master classes. Okay. All right. Don't be afraid to send me an email. If you are new or you have changed schools, please send me an email so I can add you to that master list. If you're already obviously on this list to your registration list, you've been receiving emails. So, but if anything changes, please send me the email. Okay, Elizabeth, we're ready for some questions. I could probably do 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Some questions.
So
Awesome.
some of these may have been answered in your slides, but since they sent the chat message, I'll go ahead and ask them. So someone asked about just clarification, I guess, on deadlines for middle school, because it sounds like their contest is going to be in December.
Okay. So as far as deadlines for contests, like when your scripts are due and your contested entry form for junior high and all that, it's usually 10 days before the actual contest. Your contest manager will set that date for, however, all right? And they will let you know what is their deadline, all right? Usually it's 10 days before the contest, but some may have it earlier than that, all right? Because contest managers have lots to do, so they may set an earlier deadline. So the best person to ask is your contest manager if you are a junior high When I Play director. Okay, does that answer the question?
Yes, I think so. And then let's see, there's another question, which I know I can answer this because I haven't heard of either of these programs. Has UIL made any screencast or Loom video tutorials on how to fill out mock forms? The answer to that is no. Might be helpful to view in addition to taking it step by step.
True. I know we do have a step-by-step enrollment video that you can find, but we'll work on the other ones. Okay, we'll do what we can. All right.
And then you may have received this in your chat message as well. It says, would there be any way to get a defined list of quote profane words? Let's just start cursing, right?
Right. So there's always George Carlin's list if you want to look up George Carlin and look at his words and all that. The best thing to do is have a conversation with your administrator. What are your community standards? Now, there are some UIL rules, profane references to a deity. We're not going to escape that. Okay. But whether or not your school is allowed to say the word hell or say the word crap, or ass, for example, that's between you and your administrator. They will be signing off on the community standards, copyright compliance form. All right. So also on that form, they're going to have to mark off that there are no contact hits to the head, face, above the neck. All right. So there should be no surprises for your administrators. So have that conversation with them early in the process when you are selecting a play, because we definitely could go round and round on what's considered profane in your community versus or obscene in your community versus obscene in somebody else's community. All right. But in the end, your school will sign off on it. And, if there are any issues, we'll just go to your administrator who signs off. Okay. So, but no dirty words list. No. Next question.
Let's see. Okay. I'm just going to read this. I'm going to read it while I'm saying it. So I might stumble a bit. Can you talk about the process used to determine contest sites by the state office? And then in parentheses, area, region, state, is there any consideration given to the fact that there are sites that don't allow full technical capabilities? Choosing sites like these discount the work of the tech crew and doesn't allow for the full vision of the company to be seen.
I understand. I know we've had this question before, and I completely understand. We want to put as much effort into what's happening, as far as tech and design. That's a huge part of our production and all that. A lot of times what happens is we just try to find the best site, a site that's willing to host. Not all sites are wanting to do that. And sometimes things change at the last minute. We've had region sites that all of a sudden you can't use the scrim, you can't, or you can't use fog. And that's unfortunate. I mean, all I can tell you is that we try to find the best, the best place. I'd be happy to entertain, offer me some sites. Where are some places that that would be happy to host? We try to find a neutral site, and there's no perfect answer. I apologize, but please, if you know of some places that would like to host, if you would like to host a contest, please let us know. There is a form that you can fill out that says, this is what we can do, is our occupancy, or see, this is what we could provide and all that. And we will definitely look at it. So next year, okay, we'll be looking at new sites for area for sure. Okay. Last couple of years, obviously COVID-19 and all that became a little wonky, but honestly, until a lot of folks start to, let's say, send me email saying, we have some concerns about this place, whether they, it's limited capacity, or they don't offer, they can't offer us, 6 areas of lighting and all that. We didn't know these things. So whether or not they can allow you to use fog, or whether they let you use, the scrim or something, that's something, you never know. That's something that can happen even last minute. And we can't go around shifting, shifting sites at the last minute. I understand your concern. And I mean, I am aware of that. And but please, offer some sites we should look at. And again, if you can host, if any of y'all want to host and you've got the facilities for it, please let us know, and we'll put you on the list. Okay. But next year we'll be looking at some different sites for area.
Okay. Just one more question that's come in to me, and I answered it, but I'm realizing that maybe I didn't actually answer the question. And even though I answered it to the one person who asked it, other folks might have this question as well. So their question was, where can you find the form regarding the UIL study on critiques? I told her that we're waiting to create it, and when it's created, it'll be on each of the individual contest pages. So zone, district, by district, area, that's my goal, is usually whatever level of contest you're at, hopefully that form that you're looking for will be on that page, as well as all the preceding pages, as well as the theater resources and forms page. Wherever you might think to look for the form, I'm hoping that it will be posted on our website. I am the one that posts most of those things on our website. But I'm not sure if I was thinking that's I'm not sure if I understood the question correctly, because I was thinking that they were asking about the form that you mentioned about. Can you do the critiques right after, or
right? I think you answered.
There's something about the UIL study aspect on this.
Right. I think you answered it. I mean, the study hasn't happened until we look at this year. Okay. So like Elizabeth said, we are going to create the form. It'll be plastered everywhere. We will also send it to TAL, to the organization where a lot of our contest managers work from. So that form will be available. All right. But it's going to be the contest manager or the DEC chair or whoever the representative is of that district or by district will submit that form to us. Okay. And so, like I said, it's going to be approved. We just got to make sure that, your district has talked about it. How do you want to how do you want to handle critiques? How do you want to handle it at by district level or zone level and all that? And that way, once we have it, and once the season ends, we can go back and study it to see whether or not this needs to be changed. all right? Because this proposal came from the UIL Advisory Committee, all right? So When I Play Committee. So I hope that answers the question, but it's coming soon. It's coming soon.
Okay, a couple more questions have come in. So observing other plays during contest, is it up to the individual site again?
I'm sorry, repeat that again. I'm sorry.
I think it's about watching other plays during contests this year, since obviously this past contest year was a little bit unusual. So the question is it going to be, right now, is it going to be up to the individual sites on whether or not to allow companies to watch other companies perform, I think is the question.
We have not created any new COVID-19 modifications or not bringing them back. You could tell they were removed from our What I Play website. So right now we're just taking everything day by day, right? Step by step. So as of right now, everything is, as normal. So, but if things change and the host site says, we're not allowing audiences, then they're not allowing audiences, all right? But as of right now, we're hoping to have as normal a year that pre-COVID-19 as possible. So,
okay, a couple more questions, one of which I can answer and one of which is a good question, but I don't know the answer to it. So one question is, are all the sessions happening today all through the same link? That answer is yes. And then the second question, that's good, but I'm not sure the answer to it. Do we also get CPE credit for watching any of the pre-recorded sessions, or are they just for reference? I don't know that answer.
I think the answer is in that registration form. I want to say yes. All right. If it's within one of our sessions, like this week, not like last year, last semester's student activity conferences or anything like that. So I believe if it's within, this year's Capital Conference, I believe so. But I think all the information is on that registration information that you received after registering for conference.
I haven't referenced that form myself, but I believe it's typically sort of self-reporting, right? Like you kind of self-report which classes, which sessions you watched or participated in, and if called to question, we can sort of double check your attendance at these live sessions, but I mean, you're adults, we're adults. We trust that you are being ethical in reporting which sessions you watch. So that would be my hunch, but I am not giving you the official answer.
Yeah, there you go.
Those are all the questions. Oh, okay, another question. Okay, question about profanity and community standards. If I submit a script, I must cut all. Okay, I must cut all profanity regardless of community standard. But if I pick a script from the approved list, I can say whatever I want as long as I have my signed form. ... Where can I inform the committee that my community standards are accepting of this language? Well, if it's already on the approved list, we just would need your community standards form, so it wouldn't go through the committee. But I guess. Yeah.
But you're still responsible for removing by following the UIL rules. So if it's profane references to a deity, and we get questions about, we could spend another half hour talking about, using the word God or oh Lordy and things like that. That's a whole other thing, and that's probably better a phone conversation or an open forum session at Theater Fest. But you're still responsible for eliminating, references, profane references to a deity, obscenities, and submitting your community standards form. Even if it plays on the approved list.
Yes. And then I'm looking up an answer to another question that's come in about watching the pre-recorded sessions from previous years. I think that, yes, there is actually information in the posted Word document on our website for Capital Conference. So it's not specifically on a theater page, but if you go to the Word doc program for Capital Conference this year, towards the end of that posted Word document are pre-recorded sessions for academics, STEM, including theater and all of that, with links that look like they're pretty much all on YouTube. So, okay, there's another question. I think there's clarification. Okay, so Randall has clarified it's about non-approved scripts. So if I submit a script, I must cut all profanity regardless of community standard. But if I pick a script, I can say whatever I want. I think, where can I inform the committee? Okay, so I guess that's part of his question. Where can I inform the committee that my community standards are accepting of this language? I guess in the sense of he submits a cutting of a script that needs to go through the reading committee that still would include some language that typically might be marked out by the reading committee. Where can he, I guess your note on your, because there's an ability on that play submission form to type basically whatever you want to. And definitely sometimes folks have typed messages in there when they're doing a play that might be skirting some potentially controversial language or action. And typically that's where they kind of make their case for that. I don't know, Paul, if you want to say any more about that.
That's exactly what I was going to say, and, and also, there's no fear in giving me a phone call and say, this is what I'm submitting and this is what we're going to do. Because I know you may have questions about this particular scene or how we're going to handle this and all. So yeah, call me and we'll have the conversation. Okay. Because there's sometimes some really wonderful work that's being done and scripts that are being edited. And it could be, a bit, I have questions about it, controversial. How's your community going to handle this particular scene, for example? So all it takes is a phone call with you, or maybe a phone call with you or another administrator. I was like, okay, how's this going to be handled? Because, this show is being done, for the public, for the state of Texas. So let's look at it and stuff. And usually it's just a phone call and, oh, okay, I see how you're doing it. I see where you're going, what direction you're going. And that's it. Okay. So, but yeah, like what Elizabeth said, just include a note, include it on your form.
Okay, so another question for public domain plays. Can we use printed copies for integrity scripts and judges' copies?
Yes, yes.
And another question, that's a good question. I should know the answer to, but I don't. Where can we get our CPE form?
I believe it's all on that registration link. Okay, go back to your original registration that came from the academics office. I think it's all there.
Yes, I'm looking at the page. Attendees can earn CPE credit by attending the live session. Okay, yeah. So the academics is academics at uiltexas.org. I think is probably going to be your best resource for like these sorts of like CPE credit type questions, because that's the person on staff who's going to kind of be sending out that sort of information and posting it.
Right. Right. I see a question about difference between long and short plays. A short play is usually a 1-act play, and the long plays are 2 or 3 acts. So usually, okay. But there's some short plays that are definitely over an hour. So, and there's some short plays on the list that are about 20 minutes. So, okay. I know we have a question about setup and strike times being changed. Hey, that's sure, it's a great idea. I would say. And you can find them on our resources page. Look for a link for the UIL Theater Advisory. And that's a great question, a great proposal to submit to the UIL Advisory. And we'll discuss it at future meetings, and it may become a proposal. That's the best thing. Okay. Do we accept all credit cards, Elizabeth?
I don't think. Do we take credit cards? I don't know that we take credit cards.
Credit card, it's just a full check or money order, right?
Yeah, because everything goes through our UIL finance office. So I never I'm not allowed to handle any, nor is Paula, nor is Connie, any money that sort of comes through UIL. But if you have to pay with a credit card, I would suggest calling on a Wednesday when Ben Martinez in our finance office is in the office during our quarantine times, and he is the one who handles payments. So he might be able to take a credit card over the phone, but typically it's not a payment that we take.
Okay. All righty. Anything else, folks? Okay. I appreciate your patience this morning with everything. I'm sure some of you had to go ahead and leave. If there aren't any other questions, I'll be doing another one of these tomorrow morning. Hopefully, it'll have a smoother beginning, but we'll be answering some other questions. But feel free to hop on that one and ask your questions, or send me your questions ahead of time, and I'll update my presentation to include your questions. And please, we're just an email a call away. So, and we're here to help you. So this doesn't have to be an overwhelming event. And it still should be fun. You're still getting a group of students together and putting on a play and telling stories, and it should be fun. There really are a few pesky rules, but other than that, it should be a whole lot of fun. All right. So our job is to help you make it easier. Okay. So there's nothing else. Let's see. Is there anything else? Today we have Mandy Connor at 11 o'clock talking about rehearsal techniques. We have Sean Duthie at 2 o'clock. We have Concord Theatricals at 3 o'clock. And we have Destiny Miller at 4 o'clock talking about safety, theater safety for students, not just physical safety, but emotional safety as well as you're working on production. So all the same Zoom link. Hopefully we'll work out all the glitches, and I appreciate your patience. And thank you to everyone for showing up this morning. All right. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you both, Elizabeth and Paula. This was fabulous.
Thank you for being here. Thanks. Bye-bye.